Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. My name is Utsaf Parekh and here are the top stories of the day. The United Nations Security Council has failed to condemn the recent strike on Iran's embassy compound in Syria. This was after the United States, Britain and France opposed a statement tabled by Russia. The US told the Council that the details of the attack on Monday still remain unclear. Meanwhile, Russia called out the Western nations over what it called their double standards. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has lashed out at Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Khamenei said that Netanyahu will be slapped for the airstrike on Iran's consular building in Syria. Meanwhile, the US Central Intelligence Agency has warned Israel that Iran could launch a major military operation within 48 hours. Thousands celebrated in the streets of the Turkish city of Van yesterday. This was after the city's election board restored a Kurdish mayor-elect, Abdullah Zedan. He won the local elections on Sunday with 55% of the vote, but then Turkish authorities tried to bar him from taking office. However, this attempt was thwarted yesterday by Turkey's High Election Board after Zedan filed an appeal. Reports say former US President Donald Trump recently had a chat with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. It's unclear what the two leaders spoke about. The reported meeting comes as US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan postponed plans to travel to Saudi Arabia. Sullivan was due to hold talks with the Saudi Crown Prince this week. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has accused the US of building secret military bases in the disputed Essequibo region. He claims that the American bases are being built to prepare for an escalation against Venezuela. The Essequibo region is the subject of a long dispute between Venezuela and its neighbor Guyana. In Argentina, labor union members and people who have recently been laid off took over the country's labor ministry building. Dozens of protesters swarmed the building, which was guarded by federal police. They were protesting against President Javier Milei's plan to fire thousands of government workers. Milei plans to fire 70,000 government employees in the coming months. Russian drones hit residential areas of the Ukrainian city of Kharkiv this morning. At least 4 people have been killed in the drone attack. Videos show damaged buildings and vehicles and emergency personnel working on the scene. Reports say the French police have searched the offices of former French Prime Minister Edouard Philippe. Philippe is reportedly being probed for possible corruption and financial wrongdoings. The former French PM is currently the mayor of Le Havre city. Philippe is seen as a potential candidate to succeed Emmanuel Macron in France's 2027 presidential election. Norway's parliament was reopened after a brief lockdown yesterday. Security around the building was ramped up after it received a bomb threat. The police cordoned off nearby streets and bomb-sniffing dogs were seen in action outside the building. Police say a school shooting in Finland earlier this week was motivated by bullying. On Tuesday, a 12-year-old fatally shot and killed a fellow 6th grader and severely injured 2 others. The suspect says he was a target of bullying. He says this began after he was transferred to the school at the start of 2024. The death toll in yesterday's earthquake in Taiwan has risen to 9. Meanwhile, the number of injuries have crossed 1,000. A further 646 people are still trapped in buildings. Rescue workers have started cleanup efforts. They were seen demolishing quake-hit buildings. Workers were seen drilling the exterior of a tilted building to bring it down. Uganda's constitutional court has upheld the country's new anti-LGBTQ+ law. The legislation is among the harshest anti-gay laws in the world. It includes the death penalty for certain acts. Uganda's constitutional court has upheld the law, but it did strike down certain provisions. It struck down a provision requiring citizens to report anyone they suspected of having homosexual relations. Haiti's National Library was looted by armed gangs yesterday. They reportedly took away the library's furniture and stole the building's generator. The library's director says that the looting has put Haiti's historic documents at risk. This comes amid spiraling violence, especially in the capital Port-au-Prince. The UNESCO has also condemned attacks on educational and artistic institutions in the city. In climate news, a powerful thunderstorm has swept across several states in the US. High winds, rainfall, tornadoes and other dangerous weather patterns were seen across different cities. Severe storms led to power outages for thousands in Ohio, Wisconsin, Michigan and Kentucky. Meanwhile, tornadoes severely damaged infrastructure in the southern states. Communities in southern and central Mexico are battling dozens of wildfires. As per reports, 4 fires are raging in the central state of Naucalpan. Meanwhile, in the southern state of Oaxaca, several wildfires are raging in remote mountain ranges and forests. According to Mexico's National Forestry Commission, there were 71 active fires in the country at the start of April. Heavy rain and hailstorms have killed 7 in the Chinese province of Jiangxi. As per the report, storms damaged dozens of homes in the region. 3 people died in Jiangxi's capital, Nainachang, after an apartment building collapsed due to the storms. Meanwhile, the storms also damaged over 5,700 hectares of crops in the province. Pakistan is facing a 30% water shortage as the sowing season begins. This is according to the country's water regulator, the Indus River System Authority, or IRSA. The IRSA says that the shortage is due to lower than normal winter snowfall in northern areas. An assistant researcher at the regulator said that the regions received lower snowfall due to climate change. The South African country of Zimbabwe has declared a national disaster over a prolonged drought. The country has been facing a devastating drought due to the El Niño weather phenomenon. Yesterday, Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa said that over 80% of the country received below-average rainfall in the last season. The president has asked for $2 billion in humanitarian aid from international organizations. The Ivory Coast has inaugurated a 37.5 megawatt solar power plant. The government said that the plant is the first step in bringing its plan to bring more renewable energy into the power sector. The country aims to generate 45% of its energy from renewable sources by 2030. Only 57 oil and gas companies are linked to 80% of greenhouse gas emissions caused since 2016. This is according to the Carbon Majors database, which is compiled by world-renowned researchers. The biggest contributor to emissions was the American oil company ExxonMobil. It was closely followed by firms like Shell, BP, Chevron, and Total Energies. On to business and tech news. Amazon Web Services, or AWS, is laying off hundreds of employees. AWS is the cloud computing unit of the US tech giant Amazon. The firm has said that the layoffs will mainly impact workers in its sales and marketing divisions. A few employees from AWS's global services division and physical stores will also be removed. Thousands of Apple users around the globe faced a major outage yesterday. Apple services, including the App Store, Apple TV Plus, and Apple Music, were down for over an hour. According to reports, over 6,400 users faced issues at the peak of the outage. The firm says that most services have now been restored. Meanwhile, Meta's social media platforms WhatsApp and Instagram were also down for a few hours yesterday. WhatsApp users were reportedly unable to connect to the apps across several countries. At its peak, the outage reportedly impacted more than 24,000 users in the US. Meanwhile, over 5,000 Instagram users in the US reported that they were unable to log on yesterday. Google is reportedly planning to put its artificial intelligence search engine behind a paywall. The firm is planning to add its AI search engine to its premium subscription plan. As of now, Google's premium plan offers AI assistance in Google Docs and Gmail. However, the report says that the firm will continue to offer its traditional search engine for free. Music streaming app Spotify is reportedly planning to hike its subscription fees. The price for Spotify's monthly individual plan will be increased by $1. Meanwhile, fees for its monthly family and duo plans may be raised by $2. As per the report, these hikes are expected to be implemented in 5 markets. This includes the US, the UK, and Australia. The South Korean chip maker SK Hynix will invest about $4 billion in the US. The chip maker plans to build a packaging plant for artificial intelligence chips in the state of Indiana. The plant will also include a production line for next-generation memory chips. SK Hynix has said that it expects to start production at the plant by 2028. Eli Lilly's weight loss drug, Zepbound, will likely face a shortage in April. This is according to a forecast from the US Food and Drug Administration. The supply shortage has been attributed to the scarcity of a GLP-1. It's an ingredient used to make weight loss drugs. This comes as the demand for weight loss drugs has surged in recent months. The Chile-based Latam Airlines is planning to relist its shares. Yesterday, the firm planned to relist its stocks on the New York Stock Exchange. This comes 4 years after Latam stocks were removed. In 2020, Latam Airlines had declared bankruptcy due to heavy debt. However, since then, the firm has revived after it underwent a reorganization plan. Plane maker Boeing is facing more troubles. As per a report, the production of Boeing's 737 MAX jets have sharply declined in recent weeks. This comes after the mid-air door blowout incident earlier this year. Following this, the US regulator ordered Boeing to produce only 38 MAX jets in a month. However, as per reports, production has fallen below even 38. Tesla will reportedly send a team to India this month. This is to look at locations to build a factory in the country. The company is expected to invest around $2 to $3 billion in the factory. This comes after India eased its policies to import electric cars last month. However, the Indian government has said that foreign car firms will have to set up a plant in the country to benefit from the new policies. Moving to sports, we start with cricket and the IPL. Yesterday, the Kolkata Knight Riders beat the Delhi Capitals by a staggering 106 runs. Kolkata posted 272 for 7, the second highest total in IPL history. Sunil Narine starred for them by scoring his career best of 85 runs from 39 balls. Delhi could not chase the mammoth total and were all out for just 166 in 17.2 overs. The result has extended KKR's winning streak to 3. Mustafizur Rahman won't feature in at least 2 IPL matches for Chennai Super Kings. He had to fly back to Bangladesh to complete his visa formalities for the upcoming T20 World Cup. The 28-year-old has been a crucial pacer for Chennai during this IPL. He's currently the highest wicket taker in the competition. Sri Lanka beat Bangladesh by 192 runs in their second test to seal the ongoing series 2-0. Bangladesh were bundled out for 318 runs while chasing 511 to win in the 4th innings. Sri Lanka's Kamindu Mendes was the player of the match for his all-round performance. In football, Arsenal cruised to a 2-0 win over Luton Town in the English Premier League. Martin Odegaard opened the scoring in the 24th minute. Daiki Hashioka's own goal in the 44th doubled the Gunners' lead and saw them through the match. Meanwhile, Manchester City beat Aston Villa 4-1 last night. Rodri's goal gave City the lead before John Duran countered with an equaliser for Villa. But before half-time, City had restored their lead thanks to Phil Foden. Foden went on to score 2 more goals after the break, sealing his hat-trick. And Chelsea have issued a statement in support of their captain, Conor Gallagher. The club has condemned the online abuse directed towards him. Gallagher was targeted online after he snubbed a mascot's handshake. This happened before Chelsea's match against Burnley last Saturday. In tennis, former world number 1 Simona Halep has received a wild-card entry into the main draw at the Madrid Open. She previously won the Madrid Open on 2 occasions, in 2016 and 2017. Halep returned to the courts just last month after serving a ban over doping. This will be her second tournament after coming back. Indian tennis star Sumit Nagal has crashed out of the Marrakesh Open. He lost to Italy's Lorenzo Sonego 6-1, 3-6, 4-6 in the round of 16 yesterday. This was Nagal's second straight loss to the Italian after their first round clash at this year's Dubai Championships. In Formula One, 4-time world champion Sebastian Vettel hinted that he might make a comeback to the sport. The 36-year-old German reportedly said that he was potentially in the market for a 2025 seat. Vettel was also asked if he'd consider an opportunity from Mercedes should he be given an offer. He said he did have a brief conversation with Mercedes boss Toto Wolff, but not regarding an offer. A village in French Polynesia will host the surfing events for the upcoming Paris Olympics. This is despite protests over the construction of a judging tower. Protesters said that the tower may damage nearby coral reefs. However, the tower's construction has gone ahead and it's on track to get completed in May. The village will host professional surfers and spectators when the Summer Games kick off in July. On to entertainment news. More than 200 high-profile artists, including Billie Eilish, Nicki Minaj and Camila Cabello, have signed an open letter. They're demanding protections against the use of artificial intelligence in the music industry. They've called on tech firms to pledge not to develop AI tools that undermine or replace human artists. Actor Anya Taylor-Joy, the star of the popular show The Queen's Gambit, confirms that she secretly got married in 2022. Taylor-Joy married her musician partner Malcolm McRae. She confirmed this news on Instagram and shared a series of photos from the secret wedding. The couple had begun dating in 2021. Filmmaker Jonathan Glazer has signed posters of his Oscar-winning film The Zone of Interest for a humanitarian relief auction. The auction has collected gifts from major British stars to fund medical aid to Gazans. Glazer's move comes a month after his speech at the Oscars, where he received backlash for comparing his Holocaust-themed film to the ongoing conflict in Gaza. When James Corden bid farewell to hosting The Late Late Show last year, he learned that people thought he was fired. Corden has clarified that he had quit the American show to return to the UK with his family. He says that he made the decision so that his children could be closer to their grandparents. The first look of the upcoming Disney movie Mufasa: The Lion King is finally here. The live-action film is being directed by the Oscar winner Barry Jenkins. It's a follow-up to The Lion King, which was released in 2019. The film was a CGI-rendered adaptation of the 1994 movie of the same name. Popular K-pop boy band 17 is all set to make a return. It'll release a new album titled 17 Is Right Here on the 29th of April. Last year, 17 sold nearly 16 million albums in South Korea and broke several records for album sales in the country. Hollywood power couple Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez have bought a new mansion in Los Angeles. The house is worth $61 million and it spreads over 38,000 square feet. It was previously owned by Indian businessperson Isha Ambani. A photo of Scarlett Johansson recently went viral on social media. It shows the Hollywood actor sitting on a rickshaw in New Delhi. However, it was later revealed that the picture was a fake. The photo belongs to a German traveler who had visited India last year. Indian actor and singer Ayushmann Warner has signed a recording deal with Warner Music India. The partnership will grant Warner access to the label's global network. The singer says he wants to, quote-unquote, take his music to a global audience. Warner was last seen in the 2023 Bollywood film Dream Girl 2. Indian star Deepika Padukone's performance in the famous song Diwani Mastani has garnered attention again, this time from the official Instagram page of the Oscars. The page shared a clip of the song from the film Bajirao Mastani. The video shows Padukone in an elaborate ensemble dancing in a royal court. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to First Post.